And it's great to welcome back to Flow FM the legend that is Suzi Quatro. G'day, Suzi. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Or should I say Dr. Suzi, because you've got a doctorate in music?
I do. I'm Dr. Quatro. Doesn't that sound good?
That is fantastic news.
Yeah, but the best thing about being Dr. Quatro is I'm Dr. Quatro, but I have no patience.
Well, considering the last 12 months, it's probably a good thing too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, yep.
But then again, Suzi, with your music and your career, you've kind of got lots of patience, but in a different way.
Well, I mean, I've been very blessed. I've had a long 57-year-long career. Good God, how many people can say that? I'm still loving what I do. I don't do it because I have to. I do it because I love it. I'm still releasing excellent material. I think this album is probably amongst my finest. Really, really proud of it. So, as long as this is happening in my career, then there is no reason to even consider stopping.
Well, I certainly hope you do not. And my brother-in-law, who's a massive fan of you, he's seen you many times, he certainly hopes that you don't consider retirement for a long time to come.
No, I won't. And you know my famous quote. I mean, it's been all over the papers, but I'll say it for you now. I will retire when. I said it when I was 35. I'm now 70. I will retire when I turn my back on the audience and I shake my ass and there's silence.
It's not going to happen, Suzi. It's not going to happen.
I don't think so. It hasn't happened yet anyway.
Well, this new album, it's called The Devil in Me. It's out on March 26, and I've been listening to it over the weekend. And you said that this is your finest work to date. Have to agree. The previous album that I spoke to you about, No Control, it kind of left me wanting a bit more. That there was more to things. And this album...
It whet your appetite. No, that's good. It whet your appetite, yeah.
It did. It was kind of like the appetizer, and now you've served up the main meal. Was that kind of the intention all along, or did COVID impact that? Or tell us a bit more about the coming together of this album.
Okay, it wasn't the intention. I don't think you can ever manufacture something like that. The first album was my son wanting to work with me and really saying to me, Mom, I want to write with you, and I was giving it a shot, and it turned into an album, and we just didn't know how it happened. It just did, and we were both experimental. There were no limits. There was no blueprint. We were just simply enjoying writing and working together, having the time of our life. We created a wonderful album that the critics all around the world went nuts over. So that was like 2 years ago. And then in the end of 2019, he should have been on the road in 2020. I should have been on the road in 2020. And the company took up the option for the second album. And we talked about when the hell are we going to write this. We're both busy. He had his own, commitments with Biba Doobie, and I had my gigs. I had 95 gigs in the book last year. And lockdown came. So what I said to my son was, right, we have the studio in the grounds. You can go out there and work with the machines. I'll sit on the patio and work how I work, which is old school, with the acoustic bass, acoustic guitar, and a little recording unit in my songbook. And we will write this album. We will take the best out of this bad situation. And we had a benchmark of No Control, good benchmark, good album,
absolutely.
First time together. And my son had gotten his confidence on No Control, big time.
Okay.
So he then took it home. He said to me, Mom, I want this album to be as important as your first album and as groundbreaking. And unless something has the right vibe, we can't put it on. And he really dug his heels in. And I started to trust him very much. So whatever had the vibe went on, and we just started to write. And I've never been so prolific in my life. I've been pulling songs out of the air, and it's diverse. It's amazing how this album is diverse, yet it all fits together perfectly.
You said it, and I was about to say exactly that, and you took the words right out of my mouth. There are 12 tracks on there. I will say one thing. You can't leave it at 12, surely. You've got to be doing and thinking about doing more. But before you answer that, one of the things I noticed in this album, listening to it, was just the absolute depth, and there was the texture of everything. There was so much in there, and each time you listen, you'd find something new in every particular song. And one of them in particular, My Heart and Soul, I just absolutely fell in love with, and we're going to add it to Flow for our Christmas songs because it is just absolutely perfect for that.
But it doesn't even have to be a Christmas song. That's the good thing about that. It's kind of timeless.
It is indeed, and it's just, but I just found that there was the depth to the lyrics, the music. It just took me in there, and I just loved it from go to woe. And I'm just looking for.
And that had a little story to it.
Okay.
Now that you said that, it's one of my favorites on the album. And I was sitting on the patio doing what I do, writing. We're writing for them. We're locked down. Rich is in the studio with his machines, like he prefers to be, and he left the door open to the studio. And I heard this track come out. He had put down a drum machine, a little bass part, and a guitar, and this track came out. And I was on the patio, and I just literally got hypnotized, and it hit my heart like an arrow hits your heart,
Yep.
just what you just said. And I knew as an artist for many years now, 57 years now, don't think. When something hits you in the heart, don't engage your brain. Don't think. So I just got up off my patio chair, and I walked out to the studio, and I said, give me the headphones, turn on the microphone, and play that, please, right now. And he played it, and the first 4 lines of the song came out of my mouth. I didn't think about what I was going to say. I didn't think about how I was going to... A voice came out of me that I didn't know I had. Obviously the track spoke to me in the way that this is what happened. And so much so that when we went to record the main vocal, I'm sorry, it's a long story, but it's an important one. So we had this song, this beautiful song. We went, wow, what happened there? And then we put the track down properly. Everything's on, the strings, the horns, the backing vocalist, the guitar, the bass. I'm now putting down my main vocal on the finished track of My Heart and Soul. And when you're an artist, and it doesn't matter if you're playing bass or singing or whatever, you're very exposed in the studio. It's like anything can take your confidence away because you're naked, basically. You're out there doing your art, and anything can bang into it without it meaning to. So I'm singing on my track and giving it all, and my son stopped the track. I said, what's the matter? And he said, you're not doing it. I said, and I got mad. I said, what do you mean I'm not doing it? He said, well, I had chills before. I said, what are you talking about? And I started to get defensive. And he said, wait a minute, Mom. And he had the engineer play the demo in my headphones. And I heard this voice coming out that had walked from the patio without thinking and just sang the song. And I went, whoa. So what I was doing was being Suzi Quatro, putting down a vocal on her new album. So what I did was I walked out of the studio, stripped away all that, got back to that feeling that I had when I first heard it, went back in and sang it like a bird.
It is an absolutely beautiful song.
But how smart of him to pick that up.
You're a great team. Suzi.
All he knew was it wasn't doing it, and then to figure out why it wasn't doing it, that was the smart part.
It sounds like you've taught him well.
Well, like I said, he's now got himself into my trust category. He's only 36 years old, and he's coming at me with all these ideas, and Mom, you got to do this and that. And part of me's taking it with a grain of salt and thinking, okay, he's enthusiastic, he wants to work with me, he spent his whole life watching me, so it's in his DNA. He spent his whole life watching Suzi Quatro on stage, so he knows who I am and what I am at a gut level. And in a funny kind of way, it's the only way I know how to say it, I gave birth to him, but he is giving rebirth to me, which is quite something.
It is. It's a collaboration. There's got to be more to it. You're going to do future stuff together still?
Oh, well, we're not stopping. In fact,
Excellent.
We're about 6 songs into the next album.
Oh, that's what I wanted to hear, Suzi.
This is too good.
Yeah.
This is too good. I don't want to let this go. Whatever we have, whatever this synergy is between us, him wanting to work with me that bad, and only because, like today, for instance, I'm getting these reviews and that are just embarrassing. They're so good, they're embarrassing. And I said to my son, aren't you pleased, Richard? You're getting a lot of good comments. And he said, I don't care about that. I'm pleased for you. Isn't that sweet?
That's being the son. That's not being anything other than a son.
Well, you can't buy that, can you?
No. Suzi, I noticed on your tour schedule, which all going well, will be starting very soon, but you're coming to Australia later in the year for Rock the Boat. Is that going to be on like a cruise ship or something? What's all that about?
Yes, it's a cruise ship. I did it 2 years ago, and hopefully we're looking at putting some some dates around that. I've got my promoter there, and he's looking at the possibility of that. So, I will be back. I mean, I don't know if you're a fan, that's a promise. If you're not a fan, that's a threat. But I will be back. I'm not done yet. I got so much more to say yet. I got so much more to do. I'm nowhere near finished.
Oh, that's good to hear. And one other thing, I noticed you're going to be at next year, all going well, at the Royal Albert Hall. Have you ever played at the Royal Albert Hall before?
No, and I have to say it because I keep saying it. It just gives me a thrill every time. Are you ready? Here we go.
Yep.
The Queen of Rock and Roll is playing the Royal Albert Hall April 20th, 2022. Isn't that a nice thing to be able to say?
Absolutely. It is a fantastic thing to say. Suzi, your new album is called The Devil in Me. It is coming out on March the 26th. It is a ripper album, folks, from Go to Woe. You'll get to the final track on the album, Motor City Riders, and all you're going to do is go back and hit play to start it all again. You're going to love it from Go to Woe. Suzi,
thank you.
We can get more information going to your website too, suziquatro.com. Thank you so much for spending time with us today on Flow.
Thank you so much, and keep safe, and see you when I get down there.
We look forward to it, Suzi. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Bye.
And here is the track we talked about earlier from Suzi's album. The album's called The Devil in Me. It is out this Friday, but you're going to love this track. This is called My Heart and Soul on Flow FM.
Makes me you